Alcohol can be your best friend when it comes to making friends, but milk can be your best friend when it comes to feeling good. Of children under the age of 5 are stunted and 7% are underweight. I never knew that. That's incredible. I don't know why that's affected me so much. I don't think I've seen a malnourished child in reality before. Good God, one slip. One slip. This is a genuine video. Is Thailand doable without alcohol? If you had to ask me that question, I don't know, a year ago, I would have said no. Because you see, I don't know if I said it many times before, but I didn't come to Thailand for the culture. And I don't think you did either. Most people come here for the fun aspect of it. And alcohol adds to that. And without alcohol, it's a complete, well, I wouldn't say it's a completely different story, but it's a different story. Before, well, not before, the guys who want to call me an alcoholic, go ahead and do it now. Go ahead and do it now. Because I am not an alcoholic. I've said previously, and I've documented many times, my enjoyment of drinking in Thailand. And all the good times that alcohol has afforded me in my time in Thailand. A few weeks ago, I got a virus, a respiratory infection. And I just didn't feel like drinking. I had it for about 3 or 4 days, bad. Not bad, but I was on my feet like, but I just didn't feel like drinking. And I have said previously on this channel that I haven't had a drink, well, I hadn't had a drink in 3 weeks until last night. Anyway, because when I come up here to Pontutini, Clan Luang, Pontutini, alcohol is part of the enjoyment of being here, just letting it all go and just relaxing and enjoying yourself. But yesterday, I hadn't, about this time yesterday, say mid-morning yesterday, I hadn't had a drink of any kind of alcohol for 3 weeks. And I kind of made myself go out and buy 6 cans of Tan and Dang, I think that's how you pronounce it. Very nice beer. And I drank 6 cans of it last night. But it was a chore. It actually felt like a chore. It really did. So I'm reluctantly parting company with that part of my life in Thailand that involves alcohol. It's not that I can't do it. I can very easily do it. That is, give it up. But I'm not saying give it up. I'm just saying I'm not going to, let's say I won't be doing it so much at all going forward. I've lost the goo. We say in Ireland, you got the goo for something, that you want something. I've lost the goo. I don't want it anymore. I woke up this morning at 2 o'clock this morning with the most incredible, miserable heartburn. And it was just because of the beer. And I just said to myself, no, I'm tired of it. So for me going forward, my Thailand experience will be an experience without alcohol. That's my plan, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll draw your attention to a comment I received within the last 24 hours of making this video. there it is there. I'll put it on the screen, but I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. The guy mentioned the fact that I leave my shirt unbuttoned, and fair enough, some people don't like that, but I do like having my shirt unbuttoned. I don't like having my shirt buttoned. That's just the way it is. But he also mentioned that I bought new glasses. I got new glasses. And he mentioned that my glasses were so thick they could be bulletproof. Comment about my shirt being open all you want, but to criticise somebody negatively, to poke fun at someone because they have bad eyesight? Are you still at school or something? I have long-sightedness, a condition that renders me, I'll put it this way, I have a condition that renders me long-sighted. And to correct my vision, I wear corrective lenses. They happen to be thick to help me see. If someone's in a wheelchair, would you do the same to them? You see, it's people like him or like you, that individual, that spurs me on to stop drinking. Partly because of the negativity you can get on YouTube if you portray yourself as a drinker. Partly because no one wants to see themselves being portrayed as that. Well, no one wants to see themselves or hear of themselves being criticised for drinking. So that individual, all I can say is, does your mammy know that you're commenting on YouTube videos? Because it's one of the most childish comments I've ever read. Your glasses are thick enough to be bulletproof. Stopping drinking anywhere is an achievement. As when I was younger, I used to use it like we all did as a social crutch. We probably still do. I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I have had. And I wouldn't have met some of the most wonderful people. And I wouldn't have met the wonderful people that I have met. A lot of them. If it hadn't involved alcohol. Alcohol fuels social life. But at my age now, I'm just ready to, I wouldn't say put on the slippers, but I'm ready to just enjoy the simplistic aspects of life. You know, there are guys that drink all their lives and get away with it, and they don't suffer any negative consequences. There are people who smoke all their lives and don't necessarily suffer any negative consequences health-wise. But the vast majority of people do. And that's another reason, because over the last 3 weeks, I've woken up every morning feeling reasonably well. I saw a video the other day where a guy was talking about it, on a poster behind him, it was a doctor, 1% better every day. And that's the way it was going for me. I was getting there. And when I woke up this morning at 2 o'clock with the chronic, when I say chronic is an understatement, acid reflux, I just said, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I poisoning myself? I'm lucky to have survived to this stage in life after the life I've led, the lifestyle I led. I was a smoker for years, since I was 12 years old. I gave up smoking around the time Harry was born. That's, if you can survive till your 60s or 70s, I would say if you can avoid alcohol and cigarettes and late nights and stuff like that, you can do it. I've mentioned before that I don't have a wish to go to Suckinbit anymore, and I haven't had a wish for a long, long time on a night out. And now I'm beginning to understand why I don't want to. Because it doesn't appeal to me anymore. And because it takes longer to recover when you wake up the next morning. I've never suffered a hangover in my life. Never. Although I haven't felt good, I've never had a headache. I've been able to do all the things I'm supposed to do. By the way, I had 3 glasses of gin, as well as the 6 cans of beer last night, and I was still up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was still up at 8 o'clock this morning, doing what I should be doing. It's 9:10 now. So alcohol never really affected me that badly, but I didn't feel good about myself this morning. You might ask, why am I using, this is a spoon, why am I using a spoon to hold the microphone? Because my lapels flap, and if I put it on my lapel, it'll flap over there and the sound won't be as clear. So that's the reason I'm using a spoon. And in Dublin, we call people who are stupid or do stupid things a spoon. And I felt like a spoon many a time. Because you know when you're drunk, you text things you regret. You say things you shouldn't say. You behave in a way that you ordinarily wouldn't. Oh my God. Let's adjourn for a second. Chopping down trees. Use a chainsaw without any eye protection or ear protection in your flip-flops. That's the way to do it. My wife, hang on, I better get away from this. My wife has asked me to go up to 7-Eleven to get 2,000 baht out of the ATM. And now I know why. It's to pay those guys. And you know, that's 2,000 baht I have that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't have stopped drinking. Well, 3 weeks ago, like. As you know, I was never one for eating and drinking at the same time. Well, eating and drinking alcohol. Could never do it. Could never, ever do it. Could never see the point. And I definitely wouldn't be drinking with my breakfast. Here's a sausage for you. How about that? We'll enjoy this. We'll enjoy this, and then I'll head off to the ATM to get the 2,000 baht, and we'll recommence. Cup of tea. Your only man. And this is for all the negative critique that I get for drinking. If I was given a choice between an ice cold beer and an ice cold glass of milk, I would take the ice cold glass of milk anytime, especially with a peanut butter sandwich. That's what I'm rounding off my breakfast with today. Nothing comes even close to ice cold milk. Ooh. 2 litres a day, every day, for as long as I can remember, sometimes more. That's a fact. Actually, drinking milk is a very good way of giving up alcohol. Because if you drink a glass of milk, there's no way you're going to touch a beer for at least 5 or 6 hours. Oh, heaven. We'd have to go again. Cheers. Whoa. That really sets you up for the day. It really, really does. And of course, people tell you that you shouldn't drink milk. If you Google it, do milk drinkers live longer? They don't necessarily. There's no evidence to prove it. And there's evidence to prove a lot of other things negative about drinking milk. But being a lifelong milk drinker, and I mean a milk drinker, my father used to lock the kitchen. When we went to bed, the whole family went to bed, my father used to lock the kitchen because I used to guzzle the milk. Oh. Alcohol can be your best friend when it comes to making friends. But milk can be your best friend when it comes to feeling good. Wonderful. And Thais don't drink milk, and they look at you if you. And I've had this during all my time in Thailand. You drink milk or you buy milk, and they look at you. You're walking down the street, and this is when I lived in her mother's. Where we lived in her mother's house. This real Thai, real backstreet Bangkok, and you'd walk down the street, and they'd look at you. You're carrying the milk, the 2 litre like this. You're carrying the milk on the way home. And they go, Kunsunom? Like, it was a big deal. That means you buy milk. Huh? Yeah. It was a big deal that you bought milk. It was a big deal that you drink milk. When I sit here drinking milk with her family, they look at me as if I'm eating snails or something. And the Thais would eat that anyway. I think that's why they're probably so short. Lack of calcium. I know you can get calcium in broccoli and other things, but why are Northern Europeans taller? Because we have dairy in our diet. That's my belief. And East Asians, Southeast Asians especially, are notably shorter because they don't have dairy in their diet. Some people say I should rule out dairy as well. What's the point in living? So I'm being dispatched now to get 4,000 baht to pay for the people who are chopping down the trees. But just to point something out, there's a little girl that's playing with Harry at the moment, and she's obviously the daughter or niece or something of the people who are chopping down the trees. And the people up around here don't have much. They haven't got a bob. I'm not going to show her, but I'm looking at her now beside Harry. She looks malnourished. She absolutely looks malnourished. And this is an aspect of Thai culture that you rarely hear about. The poverty in Thailand, she looks absolutely malnourished. I'm going up to the 7-Eleven to buy Harry a cheesy sandwich and get the 4,000 baht to pay for the workers. And I'm going to buy her a cheesy sandwich too. Jesus Christ almighty. I'm not saying anything about her parents. I don't know them. But it must be terrible. There's a house down the road here. And again, you see, drinking. You know, drinking is such a huge part of Thai culture. I'm not saying the kids are neglected because of drink. All over the world, kids are neglected because of alcohol. And I suppose you could say the same, that I was neglecting my son because of my drinking. Because I put more importance on getting drunk on a Friday and Saturday night than I put on spending time with my son. Anyway, let's go and get this stuff. Hom Su cheesy sandwich song. Harry Dek Ying. Okay. So just clear that with the wife. Yeah, good girl. There she is there behind me, little thing. I did mention to my wife that girl looked malnourished. And my wife didn't disagree. She knows. There's abject poverty in Thailand. And there are malnourished children in Thailand. I've just seen it. So I'm in the car and I've done something. A lot of people criticise me in my videos for not doing my proper research. Well, I've done a bit of research here since I've seen that girl. I've Googled it. And this is what I've come across. Malnourished children do live in Thailand, with data showing issues like stunting, being underweight, and severe food poverty. A national survey by the National Statistical Office and UNICEF reported that 13% of children under the age of 5 are stunted and 7% are underweight. I never knew that. That's incredible. I don't know why that's affected me so much. I don't think I've seen a malnourished child in reality before. Anyway, let's go and do this. These are some of the things that you observe when you're not drinking alcohol. Because if I was drinking alcohol today, I wouldn't be making this video. Or maybe I would. And I'd probably be making a fool of myself in the process. It's not often you see me at an angle like this. It's just that I've used this tripod before, but when you stop drinking, or when you make a change in your life, other things start to change. You start to see things in a different way. Another thing that I forgot to mention, I didn't mention to you, I've started to use my non-dominant hand, in other words my left hand, for writing and for brushing my teeth and things like that. And I've started this about 6 months to, well, almost, I would say nearly closer to 10 months ago. And when I started doing it, I started noticing that my cognitive skills were improving, because you're using your other hemisphere. Don't knock it, it's a fact. So yeah, that's another thing, another benefit of, well, it's a benefit of using your non-dominant hand. More neurons start to fire in your brain and you start to see things more clearly. Now, I stopped writing with my left hand, I just got tired of it, but I started again last week or the week before last, and it was after doing that that I started to look at things in a different way. And surviving in Thailand without alcohol is looking at things not just in a different way, but a much brighter way. ATMs are becoming a thing of the past in Thailand. There's been more times I've gone to an ATM in Nana, drunk out of me head, taking money out to continue my night out. Jesus. And then you look at your account the next day on your phone, your banking app, and you go, my God. And it's all down to drink. It's working. It's always a great feeling to hear the machinery chucking away, saying you're getting your cash. So there's the $4,000 for the workers, and I'm going to buy the cheesy sandwiches for the girl who appears to be malnourished. Have you ever seen a malnourished child in Thailand? Just curious. If the UNICEF figures are accurate, which I've no doubt that they are, nothing to doubt, I've no reason to doubt that they are. It's a very damning statistic on Thai culture. It just is. Not every 7-Eleven in Thailand is licensed to sell alcohol, and this one isn't. And for a long time, I didn't like coming in here because it wasn't licensed to sell alcohol. I get these cheesy sandwiches. Somebody asked me to do a 7-Eleven review, so this is as close as we're going to get for the moment. This is your CP range. CP is the governing body or the parent company of 7-Eleven, and this is your CP range of convenience foods. There we are. And the classic cheese toasted sandwich. I get 2. If there are 2. There aren't 2 there. God damn, what are we going to do? There's only 1. So I'll get her, Harry likes the cheesy one, I know that. So I just have to get her ham and cheese, okay. Or will I get 2 ham and cheese? No, I just get the cheese because Harry can be fairly particular. Okay. Remember to take up. A lot of people, by the way, seem to rave about the cheese sandwiches or the toasted cheese sandwiches in 7-Eleven in Thailand. I'm not a fan, I never was. Although they're okay, but for me they're nothing to write home about. But it's so refreshing, it's so bloody refreshing. I'm looking forward to my first social event without alcohol. I'm going to try it. Harry's birthday is on Wednesday at the time of making this video. Today is Sunday. And the Beer Bandit and All and Sundry are going to be down in her mother's house because it's a bank holiday, it's a national holiday in Thailand. And I'm going to see how I get on without drinking on that day. And you're welcome to join me. Anyway, I'll wait for my toasted cheese sandwich and we reconvene.
ได้ไหมนี่ใช่ไหมโอเคไหม
Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะมาแล้วจะใหม่ครับ
So it's a little bit later on and the beer bandit has joined us and your man's up the tree there. Health and safety, that's what all I'll say. Health and safety, there's the beer bandit. Anywhere there's beer to be had, you'll find him. Anywhere there's work to be had, you'll find him, in fairness. But your man is up the tree there, look. Using a chainsaw in a pair of shorts. This is it, lads. This is what I got. That's so bloody dangerous. Good God, one slip. One slip. The things people do for a beer, I guarantee you there'll be beer flowing after this. It's about 35 degrees Celsius. And he's in a very precarious position with a chainsaw. Jesus, I've seen it all now. I did say to the beer bandit that it was dangerous. He just laughed me off. He just laughed me off. So I suppose no video about alcohol in Thailand would be complete without an appearance by the beer bandit. And he's here. And I can guarantee you this. He'll invite me to drink beer with him when they finish felling the trees. If the fella felling the trees doesn't fall out of the tree along with his chainsaw and decapitate himself. But I can tell you this. I won't be partaking in any alcoholic indulgence today or tomorrow. I'm not foolish enough to say never, 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 ever again, because we don't know what will happen. But I've lost, as I said, I've lost the goo for it. And that's basically it. If you have any comment to make that doesn't involve poking fun at people who wear glasses, you can if you want to. I don't care. As that individual said, the glasses look like they're bulletproof, but he did put a question mark after it. I'm bulletproof when it comes to that. I feel fairly bulletproof when it comes to that because I don't care what people say about my eyesight. As long as you appreciate the videos, that's the main thing, lads. Now, I hope that I find you in good stead. And I hope you'll join me again for another wonderful video. There's going to be a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done here. There's a lot of drinking to be done here. But I won't be doing either. I'll see you again for another wonderful video, lads. Thanks again for joining me.